Welcome back to WCCW. Welcome back to the territories. It's been a long time, but we have finally returned to Dallas, Texas for World Class Championship Wrestling. And though at this point it may have been a long time coming, because we haven't visited World Class Championship Wrestling in over a month at this point, but this is also where I get to make the announcement that this will be the last full month of the series, because at this point next month, I should say, we will be heading to Star Wars, I believe is the name of the show. Parade of Champions. I apologize. We'll be heading to the Parade of Champions, and the day in which the series will come to a close, as Siri tries to listen to what I have to say without me actually pushing the button to get her to come on. But either way, this time next month, we'll be moving towards Parade of Champions and the end of this series. And the end of this series, that's what I was going to say. Back last year, this series had just begun in the month of August, and now, much like WCW 2000 and TNA 2016, this series has been going on over a year, and really needs to stop. And we need to move on. Also, I don't know how long I expected to get out of this series. Well, I can actually tell you, I was hoping to make it to the end of 1983 and into 1984, but I don't think that's going to happen. But what I can say is this, that after giving it some careful consideration, I will be visiting the territory system once again with another territory, I should say, but I don't know when, because I think at this point at least, I'm going to try and make it where I can get better control of the two Let's Play series that I do have currently, which are WWE 2017, I should say, and WWE 2001. So with that being said, at least for the temporary future, the Let's Play series on the channel will be very limited, and I say limited to just the two that I just mentioned, as World Class Championship Wrestling will join the series of the past as it moves into the archives. But what I can say is that eventually you will see the return to the territories and well, so without further ado, actually something just popped into my head, and that is, it's been a while, so let me just review some of the feuds, and we're going to start with the bottom, which is the Freebirds versus the Von Erichs. Anybody who knows World Class Championship Wrestling knows about this feud. Variations upon variations of these three, or these six, have been housed, variations upon variations of meetings between these six have been housed on all pay-per-views thus far. So we'll see what happens at the next pay-per-view, because I'm not really sure. This one just started as Magnum TA just debuted. Chris Adams and King Kong Bundy also just started. This one is, I would like to think it's over, but I think I'm gonna go one more month and end it at this pay-per-view. So we'll see what happens. This one is ending at this pay-per-view, so yeah. But either way, Brody and Dickie, Gary Hart's Army and El Hijo de Tejas, Bundy and Chris Adams, Missing Link and Magnum, and the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds. With that being the case, let's jump into this episode of World Class Championship Wrestling. And now we move to the opening pre-show match with the Mongol up against Salvatore Bellomo, and the Mongol gets the win. And then Brian Adias gets the win over Shane Douglas, as Brian Adias, I believe, may have won his first match, and even though some might say it doesn't matter, a win is a win is a win, no matter how you get it. And speaking of Gary Hart, I didn't realize this opened the show, but speaking of Gary Hart, Gary and King Kong Bundy opened the show with an interview with Mark Lawrence, and Gary says that under his direction, King Kong Bundy will be champion. And he is interrupted, or they are interrupted by El Hijo del Tejas, as Del Tejas comes to the ring and says that he wants one more shot to prove Gary Hart wrong, because the last time he was in a ring with a Gary Hart man, he lost. So this time, he wants one more shot, and if he loses again, that'll be it. But Gary Hart looks at him and says, "No. If you win again, then you proved me wrong. But if you lose, then you join me. Then you join Gary Hart's army. You leave Jose Lothario behind, and you join my army. You become a pawn for me. And you allow me to prove to you and everybody else that Jose is a failure and I am the manager of champions." And Del Tejas looks and thinks for a second, and then he says, "You got it." So it's made Del Tejas versus an opponent of Gary Hart's choosing at the pay-per-view. Win, and the feud's over. Lose, and Del Tejas must join Gary Hart's army. So we'll see what happens at the pay-per-view, but that's one of many matches set for this Sunday's event. But either way, Johnny Mantell gets the victory over Barry Orton in the opening match tonight on World Class Television, and then we move to the next match as Magnum TA in his debut defeats Valente Fernandez in pretty short order, and then Magnum joins Mark Lawrence at the interview position, and Magnum is asked what brings him to World Class Championship Wrestling, and Magnum says that recently he's been second-guessing himself. Recently he's been second-guessing his potential and the path that people have laid out for him. So, the reason I'm here in World Class Championship Wrestling is to figure out where I'm supposed to be and take my own road in this crazy in this business, and make my own road. Not have it paved before I got there. And it starts Sunday against Missing Link. Because that's right, for the Brass Knuckles title, Link, Magnum, this Sunday, another match added to the event. And speaking of matches on the event, you can be darn sure that the Von Erichs, who competed against Bill Irwin and Bob Bradley in a tag team match tonight, will be featured at the pay-per-view this Sunday. Will be featured on the big event this Sunday as Kerry, Kevin, and David talk about their matches this Sunday and the issues with the Freebirds. And what I can say is that this Sunday, number one, we will be seeing Wait, Gino Hernandez doesn't work for me. We will be seeing the Guerreros versus the Thunderfoots in a number one contendership match to face the Fabulous Freebirds for the WCCW World Tag Team titles. And also this Sunday, well, actually, I should say that it depends on who wins this Sunday, because it will be David and Kerry against Michael and Terry. That's right, the World Class Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The Freebirds will face the NWA World Tag Team Champions, the Von Erichs. Winner gets both titles. So the Von Erichs could be double champions by the end of the night, and the Freebirds could be double champions by the end of the night. So the winner of the Guerreros versus the Thunderfoots could be facing the NWA and WCCW Tag Team Champions, depending on the result of Kerry and David versus Michael and Terry this Sunday. And yes, that does mean that Kevin may be stepping into the ring against Buddy Roberts. I have not decided yet, because I could also put Kevin in the ring to defend his North American Heavyweight Championship. Wait, no, Kevin's the one that lost it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Kevin. Yeah. But either way, Kerry and David will be defending their titles against Terry and Michael this Sunday. And speaking of this Sunday, as I mentioned, Dickie Murdoch will be going one-on-one with Bruiser Brody in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And that's one of the reasons why this match took place, because I wanted to give Dick Murdoch a win going into the pay-per-view, going into the big event this Sunday. And the one thing I will say is this, that from the start of this season, from the start of this series, the rating has always been good. We got a 72 this time, increased our popularity in 10 regions. This has by far been the easiest Let's Play series to turn the company into something bigger that of any Let's Play series I've done, because even though the ratings may be better than they were when I started, I've never had to go through the growing period that I normally have to go through in Let's Play series, which is brought on by bad ratings. Which is brought on usually by bad ratings. With that being said, now we look ahead to what the next month provides us with, and that is 2 more big events in the full month of May of World Class Championship Wrestling television. So with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below if you're happy to see me returning to Dallas, Texas for World Class Championship Wrestling, and also let me know what you think of the booking of this series thus far, and if you'd like to see it continue after Parade of Champions, or if you think it is time to move to a different territory in the territory system. Because let me know down in the comment section all that and more, because as always, feedback is more than welcome and appreciated. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time, later.